All right, so there's been a lot of new PUBG content over the past few weeks, some officially released, some leaked, and there's more to share with you guys again in today's video, which is why I'm here. One of the first things here is we finally have video of PUBG's newest SUV, and I have a quick list of other things I want to share with you guys in this video if you haven't seen them already. So this is leaked, and you probably haven't seen it yet. It's only, I think on Twitter I saw it, didn't have that many views. So this is the new vehicle. We also have footage of the new test track, which I think was shared around and Cito posted a video, so you guys might have saw that. And then in the official PUBG video, which you may or may not have seen yet, we have an image of the official Rondo map. We have video footage of the new escalator coming into Rondo, the destructible bamboo, and then also a kind of sneak glimpse at the new Creatable cover, which is going to be coming into the game in a future update, it sounds like. So we're going to get into all of that. Let's watch the trailer on this new vehicle. Guessing you're going to pronounce this the Blanc. We'll see. But this is a new SUV coming into the game. PUBG said this is going to be like the UAZ, but performing better. Definitely looks like a kind of high performance luxury vehicle. Cito said it reminded him of a BMW. For me, I thought this looked like an EV. And in some of the leaks, this was actually listed as an EV. So I was pretty curious about that. But when they pan around the vehicle, it looked like it had exhaust pipes. So electric vehicles, of course, don't have exhaust pipes. So you can kind of see a little trace of them right there. So now I'm a little confused here what exactly this is going to be. But either way, this is the new vehicle, new SUV. And it's pretty cool looking. And then we also have leaked footage of the Neox factory and test track. This test track looks really, really cool. This is the Neox factory, which definitely is kind of giving off EV/Tesla vibes going on here. You have the solar panels, but then PUBG shows you a workable gas station coming into the game, and they're doing some data collecting on the test track. So definitely looks pretty futuristic to me. The buses could be EV. No word on whether these are going to be usable, drivable, or automatic. Like automatically moving around the map, or they're just going to be stationary like we're used to seeing in PUBG. I mean, the odds are they're just going to be stationary, but you never know with PUBG. Always kind of wishful thinking of what content we might see in the game in the future. Also, after showing the factory, you'll see that there's two billboards. One of them is for the car, and one of them is for the bus. I think they're going to show it right after this clip. Right there, just for a glimpse, you know, they're advertising the car and the bus. So maybe the bus will have kind of some factor in the game. Like I said, could be moving around automatically. Who knows? And then if you haven't seen this, this is very exciting. Here is the map of Rondo. Right away, you can see the test track, Neox Factory, really big part of the map. Of course, this immediately has like a Tego look. So this is middle of the map, just like Terminal on Tego. But this test track is going to be huge and maybe even usable for some PUBG events, because this looks like it's big, maybe even bigger than the training mode test track, which is very cool. And then as we look over to the left, you can see the stadium has a big footprint as well. Jiaotin, Jadana City, which is the big skyscraper city on the map. So those stand out immediately. And then what also stands out is that, you know, we can't see the complete version of the map because the text is blocking it. And then also they've highlighted the region B kind of blocking some of our view here. But PUBG made a big point to say that there's two areas of terrain, A and B, A being more typical kind of Tego Erangel terrain, when B is going to be a different terrain, almost swampy, they made it sound like, kind of like Destin. Which to me, I'm a little confused here because every map has different terrain areas. So I'm not exactly sure why they're making such a big deal here by saying A versus B. But I think they tried to say that A is the regular gameplay experience and B is less suitable for vehicles and more on foot. So like a different experience. So I think that's what they're going for with this. They mentioned that. But ultimately, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. One thing I noticed is that part of this border is actually made by what looks like to be a pretty thin area of water potentially, and this leads into water but then stops and then continues into a bigger body of water below Jadana City. And then I'm guessing, I don't know if this is going to connect or this is unplayable area. Usually the red line is unplayable, so there's water here on the west and the east. To me, I feel like this is a big missed opportunity to kind of to connect the water straight through the middle, or have this water connecting all throughout the map. On all the PUBG maps, you really can't utilize or really count on water to be able to get you into zone, right? So it kind of makes the water unplayable. You used to go into the water in the beginning when people first started playing PUBG, you drive around in a boat and have fun. But now a lot of teams don't get in there unless it's a last ditch effort. To me, it would be really fun if traveling via water was like an actual way of getting into the zone, or actually made sense, or was a good play to do. But on most maps in PUBG, it's kind of a death trap, right? You don't really see people commuting via boat on Tego. So kind of a missed opportunity, in my opinion, to make the water a little wider and actually travel through the center of the map, because they're so close to doing it here. But obviously that's PUBG. I'm not a map designer. They are. Maybe I should be. But, we'll have to see. And then again, I'll post this video, the full video here, in the description box below so you guys can check it out. This video is in Korean, so you have to read the titles. But here's where they give all the information I kind of shared with you guys. The 10th map, the largest playable area ever, and they give you more views here of the map, which looks absolutely amazing. A lot of people curious, how will this play with only 100 players? We'll see. There's going to be the possibility of 2 planes at the start, 2 starting planes for the first time ever. The game can start with 1 or 2 potentially, which might help people land in different areas and create a more interesting game dynamic, but also could make a little bit of a slower first zone. We'll see how they speed up the zones and how long the actual game time is. So here they kind of talked about the different terrain area. And then also they talk about how they tried to make it really authentic to the kind of Eastern culture, Asian area, China, where this map is kind of meant to be located. And then a few last things I wanted to show you guys. We had the buildings. We kind of already saw this. Here's our first video image of the escalators. So my first thought is you're going to be able to get from point A to B a lot quicker with the escalator, just in like real life. But then I also thought, putting a C4 on the escalator and having it go down the way, or a grenade to help kind of get down there, is going to be pretty interesting for sure. We'll see how else this is used. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of creative ways that we can't imagine just quite yet. Then we have a second kind of video of the destructible bamboo. So players can drive through, and apparently you're going to be able to shoot this down as well. And then on top of that, we have the map we went over. Look at this terrain. Looks really, really cool in this video. Could definitely look at this for quite some time. Just the little nuances. Map looks amazing. Imagine PUBG and Unreal 5. It would just be ridiculous at this point. And then here's a glimpse of this creatable cover, and it says, in addition to the destructible bamboo, we're working on features that enable players to destroy fields and create their own concealment. So this looks like it's coming in via maybe like a care package. Instead of a care package, you're calling in destructible cover. I don't know. But they also talked about a way to potentially create your own cover, which is interesting. And I'm thinking maybe like, are you going to be able to make like a little box or move a box? So far in PUBG, we've never been able to move items before, like boxes. And something that to me is even more interesting is that PUBG mentioned, I think in the patch notes for the partners, that you are going to be able to put objects on the escalator. And when I read that, I was like, well, what objects are they talking about? You can't put a car on here, or like a deployable cover that's currently in the game, the deployable shield. So I'm thinking there's going to be some kind of new objects coming into the game that players will be able to interact with and move and carry for cover. So we'll find out more about this in the future. I think I'm onto something. We shall see. And I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed and follow back for more information regarding PUBG and their next map, Rondo, again, to be released in the beginning of December. As always, thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out.